In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to make a DIY bridal bouquet using the Sugar Plum DIY kit from FiftyFlowers. The first step before we begin designing is to prepare your stems well. Now, your flowers are going to come straight from a farm, so we want to make sure that we clean them and prepare them for design. Your kit will likely come with roses. Now, in order to use roses in a bouquet, we need to remove all of the foliage and the thorns. Now, you can use their handy dandy rose stripper. I do love this kind because it's very flexible. I'm just going to hold the stem in my left hand very firmly and place the stripper over the top of the stem and just pull straight down. Now, you can rotate the rose and do it a few times, and this will allow you to remove all of the foliage and the thorns. You may also need to pull off any of the guard petals or any petals that are bruised or damaged. So you can just simply pinch and pull away at the base of the rose. This will allow the flower to perform at its best, to open more easily, and to remove any damage that happened in the shipping process. Before I begin to assemble the bouquet, I like to lay all of my ingredients out in front of me. So you're going to pick up your first flower and you're going to hold it in your left hand with this sort of number 4 position. So now I'm ready to add my second flower. And I'm going to use the same exact flower, and I'm just going to simply cross the flower over the first one, and my head position is going to be to the left and my stem position is to the right. I'm going to pick up the next flower, typically a rose, and I'm going to put this in the same position. Head to the left, stem to the right, and just gently lift your thumb and hold it together. Now you're going to do it one more time. Head to the left, stem to the right, never here, and I don't want you to come back behind for now. We just want to keep this going in the same exact position. So head to the left, stem to the right, gently lift your thumb, and you're still holding them together very, very loosely. The next thing we're going to do is rotate the bouquet 180 degrees. Now this might feel crazy, but just trust me, hang in there with me. So what you're going to do is extend your arm out in front of you, bend your wrist into your body, and then bend your elbow. Now this might feel like you're doing something wrong, but what is happening is it is allowing the bouquet to rotate so that we keep everything nice and balanced. So follow along closely here. This is the trickiest part, but I promise it's going to pay off. So you're going to take your right hand, just gently hold the top of the flowers in place and swing your left hand back around to front. So you can see that my thumbnail is now facing my body again. And I'm going to keep showing you. We're going to go round and round and do this several times so you can pause and back up and continue to go forward as you need. So I'm going to keep layering in my roses here, 1 or 2 of them at a time. So I can take 2 roses, head to the left, stem to the right, rotate, holding the top, swinging my left hand around, and do the same thing. I like to sometimes add 2 at a time because it creates more groupings and clusters than this polka dotted effect. And it just has a little bit more finesse to it than a 1-2 placement. So I'm holding them again very lightly in my hand. I can bring that one up just a little bit so it doesn't get crushed. Rotate it around, grabbing the top, swinging my left hand around, grabbing 1 or 2 of them. Now, if you're making a bridesmaid bouquet, I would stop here. This is more than enough flowers. So if I'm building more of a bridal, I'm going to keep adding most of these roses, but I still have some large flowers going in here, and I don't want this to be too big and too bulky. So I'm going to stop here with this amount of roses, and we're going to start adding in some of our additional flowers. Now I'm going to take these 2 beautiful cremones or chrysanthemums, and I'm going to place them right next to each other, but I'm going to terrace them a little bit. So one is going to be poking just above the other. Now I'm going to add in some of this white scabiosa. We're going to lay it in here, head to the left, stem to the right, right into the bouquet. And I'm just going to do all 4 of them here. Next I'm going to get in my lavender scabiosa, and I have a good amount of it. So I'm going to create small clusters, head to the left, stem to the right, and rotate. If I have 6 stems, I'm going to put 2 together, 1 together, and 3 together. Head to the left, stem to the right. So I'm happy with that where it's at, and I'm going to come in and layer in some of this blue on the perimeter. Grab the bottom of the stems, rotate them. Try not to adjust your hand position here too high or too low. And I'm just going to cluster little pockets of blue in here. Again, notice the position. I'm going head to the left, stem to the right, lifting and just tucking it right under that thumb, rotating it around. So I'm going to come back and bring in these little white carnations based on where I didn't really see them. They were getting a little dense, and so they're very easy to take out. Head to the left, stem to the right, and I'm just about ready for my greenery. And my beautiful anemones. Now I want the anemones to be placed a little bit more in the center, and so it's very easy with the spiral to just take the stem and poke it right down into the center. Now notice my hand position, it opens just a little bit, so I'm able to really tuck that stem down right where I want it. Now I love just even one anemone, but if you like several, go for it. Find that position, find that spiral, just gently push it through. If you do start to get a little bit fatigued, you can cut your stems, just give them a small trim. Straight across is totally fine. And you can place a rubber band on a hardy stem here. Just come up right where your thumb is. Roll this rubber band all the way around that binding point and just place it right back where you found it on that same stem. That's going to give you a little bit of relief from your hand, and also still allows you though to continue to add to this bouquet. The beauty of the rubber band is that it's still flexible enough to allow you to add flowers either directly through the top of the bouquet or onto the outside. So if I want to add a little bit of greenery in the very middle of the bouquet, it's very easy for me to just place this stem and press it down into the spiral. Just keep that hand nice and loose. I tend to like to add my foliage at the very end of the bouquet, just as more of a finishing touch. So I'm going to come around the outside, and again, if I'm trying to rotate the bouquet, I'm just going to grab it below my left hand, rotate it around, and add a few small clusters. It doesn't have to be fully colored. It can still just be a little bit of an accent around the outside. And again, very easy to adjust and remove. Now I can still continue to make little adjustments, lifting and lowering. Again, I prefer a little bit more of an airy garden style. If you want to round this bouquet out, all you simply do is lower some of these flowers down. You can see the position change. And as I twist and lower, you can see how this becomes more round. So if I want something airier, I'm just going to simply lift these flowers to float a bit more away from sort of that central point. And if I want it rounded down, very easy to adjust. A quick trick to tie the bouquet off is just to use a pipe cleaner. I like the dark green ones, and I'm going to place it around that rubber band. This is an easy thing to find at a craft store if you don't have tape on hand, or you're just having trouble knowing, if you don't know for sure that you want to tie it off at a certain position. This is a great way to secure the bouquet. You're just going to twist it several times, nice and tight. It won't damage the flowers, and it will allow everything to stay in there nice and secure. I just take my clippers and just cut the tip of that off. Give it another little twist here at the end and press that little nubbin down. Select a ribbon of your choice and just simply fold it in half. You're going to take that center and place it over the top. This is just a real quick and easy way to secure your bouquet. Come around up underneath and cross over. And you're going to do this just a few times. So I like to pull it a little bit taut and do it again. It's a quick and easy way to make sure that the handle is secure and covered. Pull it taut. Do it again. Now you can leave it here with just a knot and some tails. You can also cut this very short and just tie it off and stick a boutonniere pin in here and just have a very simple no tail approach. You can also do big floppy tails, and so I'm just going to do a very simple knot and do a little bit of a shoestring bow. I don't want any of the stems to move around, so I'm going to pull it nice and tight and do a simple knot just to secure the ribbon. And then I can leave it that way and trim the ends, or I can do a very simple shoestring bow here. Trim the ends if you like, or leave it long. Very simple way to finish off our bouquet. You can see in the back the mechanics are covered all the way around, and you can just set it back into some water, keep those tails out of the water, and transport the bouquet or tie it off when you get to your event. This has been a demonstration of using the Sugar Plum DIY kit from 50 Flowers. Good luck.